Om Asatu Ma Sadgamaya Tamashu Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Avir Avir Mayehi Rudra Yate Dakshinam Mukham Te Naman Pahi Nityam Te Naman Pahi Nityam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light and illumination. Lead us from death to immortality, and evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are now going to study Shnati Gita, the song of peace. We are on the second chapter and we'll start reading verse number 13. So what we have read, just a little bit of the background, is that we have read the verse number 11 and 12 where we found that spiritual life is not so simple. Just saying, I am Atman, I am Brahman will not do. It has its background. The mind should be purified. The heart should be so pure that it turns towards the divine, to search for the divine. So how that one should do the ordained duties and responsibilities, spiritual practices, what Guru suggests, go to holy places, visit the temples and spiritual places, and then serve selfless service. By all this process, when the buddhi or in understanding or mind will be pure, purified by karmana, by selfless service, when it will be, then, O Partha, 12 verse said, Tatra Partha Viveka Upajayate, then we will generate one good aspect of your life. Your mind will be awakened in the consciousness. What is permanent? What is impermanent? What is real? What is unreal? This awareness will come spontaneously. No one will have to tell you. Your question will come. Is it, I am in this world doing so much, sweating my blood to earn money, to get this fun, get this joy. But where is that? So that spontaneous purity will come and the questioning will come, right analysis and discrimination will come. So that is said, Nirmalayang Tatra Partho, when the mind will be nirmal, means pure, Viveko Upajayate, then will arise, your consciousness will be awakened, or discerning character will arise. You will be able to accept what is permanent and reject what is impermanent. Then it will come, that type of awareness. King Sattam, what the Viveka, what type of analysis, analytical mind you will generate? It is King Sattam, what is the truth? Kim Asattam, what is untruth or non-truth, or what is non-eternal, what is eternal, what is non-eternal. Vetyadi alochana tattva. Then your mind will be engaged in this type of analysis and discrimination. So that will spontaneously come. But that will not come until you are purified in your heart by doing selfless work, dedicating your work to God, doing your all duties, not escaping. Spirituality is not running away from life, but doing all the duties and responsibilities, and then offering your all actions at the feet of the Lord. Brahmani karmano arpanat. When you offer your all karma at the feet of the Lord, and jathavidhi kramenaiva. In this process, by gradually, your buddhi, your heart will be pure every day, little by little, little by little, little by little. So that we read. That means it needs rigorous spiritual practice. Only talking, I am Atman and I have understood everything, because we read few pages of the scripture, it does not give the clarity and it does not bring joy. It will be dry intellectualism. So that will not work. So we got a very good guidance. We want to build up our spiritual life, but we should have the ground of these practices of analysis, selfless service, doing our prayer and meditation every day rigorously as Guru instructs, nitya karma, naimittika karma, on special occasion, what are to be done as the Shastra scriptures prescribe. All these things are to be practiced every day, and then inch by inch, little by little, the dust and dirt of the heart will be purified. And then what will happen? That you will know you are progressing in spiritual life. Many people think I'll have some vision. I'll see this divine form appearing before me. Yeah, if it comes, okay. But that is not the only testimony. Testimony is that the mind is leaning to analyze all the time. What is this? Why I am inclined in this? Is it permanent? Can it give me eternal joy? Why I am spending my energy in this useless, fruitless thing? Uh, if it is a duty, as a responsibility, I'll have to do that much. But what more? Why am I doing all this? So this type of analysis will come. Now today we start the verse number 13 of the second chapter. The second chapter 13 verse says, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mitha, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mitha, Vivekat Dridha Nishchaya, Vivekat Dridha Nishchaya, Tato Vairagyama Shakti, Tato Vairagyama Shakti, Tyago Mithyatmakesu cha, Tyago Mithyatmakesu cha. So, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Vivekat. What will be your purified mind lean towards? To this viveko, this discernment. What is that discernment? You will try to think Brahman alone is true, Brahma Satyam, and Jagat. In this world I see, it has its apparent existence, but it has no permanent existence. That's why it is Mithya. So, Brahman is real, and the world is unreal. This type of Vivekat, day and night, a Vedanta student will start analyzing. Brahman alone is true, and this is false, this is unreal. And by that Viveka, a confirmed idea will come. No, this world is not a place where we can hang on indefinitely. We'll be in the world, but to know the truth, this is not the permanent truth. You see everything in the nature. What was yesterday, it is not today the same. Everything is changing, so it is not true. Tato, from that conviction, from such discernment, will come in your mind a firm conviction. And what is that? That conviction will say Brahma alone, really Brahman is the truth. Satchidananda is the truth. That absolute consciousness, that is the truth. And what we are seeing, these are all ripples and bubbles on our form, or like imaginary objects, which is not permanent. So this type of vivekat, from this type of analysis, you will be confirmed this Nirvanishchaya. And then what will happen? Tato vairagyam. Then will generate in the heart the desire to give up. What to give up? Give up what is temporary. Vairagya has two meanings. It is not negative. Vairagya means that attachment which I have for the worldly object, let it be gone. But that attachment for the Atman or the self will come. So, tato vairagyam, that will generate the discernment, arises dispassion. And then from that, tremendous power to renounce the sense objects. That will come. Shakti, ashakti styago, mithatmakesu. Those objects which are mitha, I know they are not permanent. They are temporary. But still I run for that. It is our nature, our bad mental condition. We know the ice cream, we know what is sugar, we know what is bad, but we incline and we do eat also. But when one will be perfectly convinced, no, it is dangerous, I will not touch. If the mind prepares like that, then his hand will sink. No, it is not good for me. I am not going to take it. So that way, this world will also not be a place of allurement or attachment. It will sink from that side and go towards God. So, withdrawing from this side and attaching this side, that will call the tato vairagya. And that vairagya, this renunciation or dispassion will come. And that which ashakta styago mitratmakishu, and the power to renounce the sense objects, which are totally false, mitha, which are not permanent, that type of concept, that type of thing will generate. So that is called the spiritual growth. We have to understand what is spiritual growth. Some people may not have any, some people are by constitution in that they cannot visualize even the form of God. Say, thinking, meditate on Mother Kali or Ramakrishna, or the form does not come. Then what they will do? Is that the sign only? No. If that detachment comes from the worldly objects and mind moves towards that eternal subject, which is unchanging, then you know that you are making a spiritual progress. And this is very important to understand, that in spiritual life, there should be very strong foundation of character, foundation of purity, foundation of, and selfless work continuously one will have to do. As we have just connected with the previous verses we read the other day, that it should be constantly connected, that we should have to this practice of selfless work, practice of our Guru, advised by Guru, that practice of spiritual disciplines. And as the mind becomes pure, automatically mind will not withdraw from those which are momentary, and it will towards God or the divine. Here we are talking about God, absolute, Brahman, the absolute. So this is very important, essential message of the Vedanta, that don't expect miraculously, suddenly something will happen because I say I am Atman. Do I say I am Atman? I know I am the body. Anything happening to the body, I get so much affected. Anyone tells me anything, one word that can make me mad and run, shout, howl, and run away. It is happening in our life every time. So how much you say, but I am Atman, but you are not raised your mind to that level. You are not that, heart is not that pure that it can ignore these things and lean towards the divine and Brahman alone. So that is the verse number 13. Verse number 13, translation says, Brahman is real and the world is unreal. Brahma Satyam Jagamitha. Vivekat, from such discernment, Dridha Nishchaya, comes a firm conviction. What is that? And that conviction, what is the conviction? That is the conviction. Brahman alone is true and all is false. This conviction, I am saying, but I have no conviction. And if that conviction comes, then what will be the end result of that? That means if you know it is poison, you know this is nectar, 2 cups are given for anyone. This is nectar, this is poison. I do not know. When I don't know, I'll be grabbing the poison, thinking it is nectar, and reject the nectar. That we are doing every day. But when we know with pure heart, believing the teachers, following the principle of selfless work and service to others, all this meditation, prayer as instructed by the Guru, all these things put together, when the mind becomes pure, then this viveka, that awareness will come that Brahman alone is true, the world is false. And with that Dridha Nishchay, Vairagya means practical demonstration. You will not touch the poison. You know it is poison. You will not take it. So long I do not know, I will be tempted. But you know, knowing means there is an experience behind, purification of the heart is there. So when it is known, Vairagyam, and then will come Tyago, to renounce Shakti, the power. Power to say no to it. That strength will come. Vairagya, renunciation is a power. It is not escaping. It is a power to renounce the poison and go for the nectar, Brahman or Atman or God. Why? Mithatmaka. These objects, which is what I am saying poison, because that takes us to birth and death. That is the poison. As we are involved in the world only minus God, then it only takes us to darkness. But when you go to the divine or consciousness or the Atman, it is the path of light and light and light. So in that sense, this Mithatmaka is like poison, I am saying, but it is not so. It can be, but here for renunciation, the spirit is necessary. So what shall be done? Who we are in the household life, we will have to renounce. It is poison. No, attachment is the poison. Let the object be there, object is God. But when I am getting attached and my mind is not purified, all these sufferings and pain and agonies and all this bereavement, all attack us. When there is no attachment, suppose you hear someone is dead or someone has in difficulties. You can be sympathetic. You can also help, but you will not be that much attached, that much reactionary when you feel that this close friend, my bosom friend, it has happened to him. Oh my God, that's a serious thing. So this is called, yes, with the serious effort should be done to help someone, but detachment, that is the key point in spiritual life. that means how much we are growing in detachment, that is the point. And the power is the strength to detachment. Detachment is a power which we will have to practice and generate in us. Now the 14th verse, 14th verse is a big verse. It says, Bhogyang vai bhogi bhogang, Bhogyang vai bhogi bhogang, Vishaya Vishamaya Vishayam Plosini, Vishamayam Vishayam Plosini, Chapi Patni, Plosini Chapi Patni, Plosini Chapi Patni, Vittang Chitta Pramatham Nidhana Karadhanam, Vittang Chitta Pramatham Nidhana Karadhanam Shatruvat Putra Kanne Vat Pitra Kanne Mitram Mitrupotapam Mitropotapam Vanamiva Bhavanam Chandu Bandhu Baddha Bandhu Varga Chandu Bandhu Varga Sarvang Taktva Viragi Sarvang Taktva Viragi Nijahito Nirataha Shokolabhe Prashakta Shokolabhe Prashakta. It's a very strong word because they are all talking about you have generated detachment, you have generated bhakti, so much love for God that what will happen? When you generate too much love for God, what will happen? You will be withdrawn from the world and worldly thing. Worldly thing will be so much, you will feel detached. Sometimes botheration. No, you don't like it, you will not relish it. People say, I don't relish those things what I used to relish before. Making a good friendship, spiritual friendship, people are meditating more. You can see those who are doing that in your life, you will see your friends, who your friends when you were very young and sang and danced and played with them. And if you become too much meditative or spiritual, they will leave you. Hey, wow, he is separating from us. He is becoming too spiritual. No? You will find criticism and other things. Similarly, a person who is tending towards God, he will withdraw. His mind will be withdrawn from the things, and that's the result. He will have a different outlook for this world. Not for God. God will be more attractive to him. But the apparent things which is mitha, which is momentary and changeable, they feel detached to that. So when the vairagya will dawn in one's heart, we have said how it will dawn, we have taught. Huh? How? How the vairagya, how the renunciation will dawn in our heart? By selfless work, by purifying the mind with meditation and doing the karma, what is ordained by the scriptures. So all these performing all our duties.
Keep on thinking all these are worthless.
And also thinking that these are all transitory, these are all not permanent. God is the only permanent thing. Thinking this way, Viveka will generate, and that will give you the conviction, the power also, the power to renounce. Mere saying it is bad and not the power to conquer it does not release anyone in from difficulty. Huh? As we gross example, as we are always giving, that you like what you like. You like ice cream. It is bad, but I know, I have analyzed. No, analyze not. A power will generate in you. No, even it is given, I'm not going to take it because it is not good for my health. And by my spiritual health, this is not good. That is not good. So I am not going to grab it. I will shun it, renounce it, detach it. So, from that type of vairagya detachment, with when dispassion arises, then what will happen? That objects of enjoyment and the acts of enjoyment, they will appear like that of Vishatul, like poison. That's why when people renounce hearth and home, become a monk, that moment everyone's heart feels that nothing pleases me in the world. I have, you see, many of our monks or in any other order, they have their big house, only one son, no one to inherit, eh, palatial house and all this enjoyment, and just he it does not please him. So much displeasing, it appears like that of poison like. So that happens when dispassion, real dispassion. We are called Markata Vairagya, two types of Vairagya. Ramakrishna said, one is Markata Vairagya and another is the genuine Vairagya. Genuine Vairagya is that he will not be feeling any type of taste in the world. You know, Yoga Vasishta, when it started, Dasharatha saw that his son Rama, he is, he will be the would-be king, but he is found that he is dispassionate to anything. He does not like the singing, dancing going on in the palace or any fun and amusement. His mind is nowhere. Then Dasaratha, the father of Rama, talked with Vasishta, their family guru, and told him, "O Guru, O teacher, please teach my boy, Rama. He is not finding any taste for the world. So what will happen to my kingdom?" So he started giving the advice which is called Yoga Vasishta. And in Yoga Vasishta, ultimately what he said, Rama, what you want to renounce? It is all God. Why not see God everything? Then you are not to renounce. You have to renounce which is non-God. But tell me, where is anything non-God? That's a very lofty standard he is talking about, because everything is permeated by God. No? The Brahman is everywhere. Brahma Satyam. If you look at the world as Brahman is manifestation, then why you will be afraid to leave it? Why will you run away? Because it is Brahman. Where will you go? There is no place to go. It is all Brahman everywhere. So that, because Rama was some advanced student, so he gave that, and we read that Yoga Vasishta, the highest of the philosophy, Vedanta philosophy. No? But for the beginner, we have to be careful because our mind is engrossed in the objects of this world and its achievement, its failures, its success. It always gives us pleasure and pain. So, this is not true. I don't want this. I want eternal joy, Brahman, the Atman. So, with this passion arises what arises? The objects of act will appear like poison. Objects of objects. Objects we see, only five objects. Rupa, eyes sees beauty, ears, nice voice, sweet melody, nose, beautiful fragrance. How much perfume industry? How big is that? How many $1 billion industry is that? Only for fragrance, no? Sweet music world. So with the five senses, the objects are all different objects are there. When dispassion arises, these objects will appear distasteful. It does not please you. It happens. Even for a person who is very much engrossed in the world, when in his family or in his personal life disaster comes, that day he does not like the music he used to like. He does not like the dish. You can give a beautiful plate of food, what he liked. He will not enjoy it, relish it. It becomes distasteful. That means it becomes spontaneously meaningless. So the objects will appear to this person as meaningless or like poison. And the enjoyment, the fun of it, experiencing that, that will also appear as poison. That means it has turned his viveka, grown discernment capacity, has empowered him in such a way that when he sees that where is the detachment from the spirit, or it takes him to the worldly idea, it is no more the question of testing. Seeing that object, he'll turn back. Ramakrishna was the example of that. You touch a coin in his body reacts. Detachment is so much. He jumps out. When Naren put the coin under his mattress and Ramakrishna came from the temple and sat over it, you all know, he just jumped out as if some scorpion has bitten. That's the poison. He has practiced so much renunciation or so much love for God that this material anything is so meaningless. So he feels reactionary. So the world of enjoyment and the enjoyment will be all worthless, meaningless for the person who is awakened in viveka. And what will happen? Plosini chapi patni. The most beloved wife will appear to be the giver of pain. There's a botheration. Or a husband. No, don't take only the wife. Uh, but for the wife, for the husband, or husband for the wife, if one really tremendous renunciation comes, they say, oh my God, it's a bondage. It's binding me. That type of pain, they will, not the pleasure, which was a subject of pleasure, object of pleasure. But now, because Vairagya has awakened, it will appear like that. Detachment is all detachment. He's talking about the monk. Huh? Don't take it into day-to-day life. Because we read this book, it's a high Vedanta book. It's only mostly Arjuna was a monk attitude that time. No. For Arjuna, there is nothing was pleasing to him. His son died. What is the meaning of this kingdom and this and that? No. So his mental condition is total detachment. So it is good dose for medicine for Arjuna. But we have to use our dosage. When we eat, we'll have to adjust the dose. That I'll talk later on. But I'm talking about what the condition of a person who is awakened in viveka or discrimination. Now, wealth. We all like wealth. Wealth, when it comes, wealth. Nidhana kara dhanam. Nidhana kara dhanam. Wealth is like a nidhan. Oh my God. And someone gives some money. You say, oh my God, I'm going to be killed. Why are you bothering me? Ramakrishna. The Marwari devotee came to Ramakrishna. No? You everything example, it is you these are reading how practically happened in life. See Ramakrishna. So one came and that Lakshmi Marwari, the businessman came. He used to love Ramakrishna. He saw that Ramakrishna's bed sheet is torn and not cleaned so much, and there is nothing sufficient supply because Mathur Babu is gone that time. So he said, Baba, father, I will give you 10,000 rupees. And this will be used for you. And Sri Ramakrishna almost fainted. He said, as if someone who is a hacksaw is running over his head. He felt that pain. Exactly. See, here it is the translation. The most beloved, the wealth seems to be tormentor of heart. The heart is pounding as it were. Ramakrishna's heart pounded when that donation was given. We'll be happy, no? If anyone gives, ah ha ha ha. No? Because we have attachment. But Ramakrishna, see, then he said, no, no, no. And then the devotee said, no, Baba, you will have to take it. It is my humble request. Please take. Then he said, no, 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 I cannot take it. You go to mother, Sarada. Go there. And if she takes, that's okay. And the mother is also. Mother said, oh, no, 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 I cannot touch that money. Because if money comes, I will use for him only, for Ramakrishna only. But he has not taken. I cannot touch that. And the man was bewildered. Are in this world, is there anybody? 10,000 means nowadays it will be 100 times of 10,000. Huh? So how much will it be?
Millions.
Nah, yeah, 10 million or what? Anyhow, some big amount. Huh? Today's context. But Thakur was not excited or joyful. He felt almost fainting. And he expressed that as if someone is making a hacksaw, running a hacksaw over the head. My God, what type of this thing? Can you imagine? That's why he is called the renunciation master. Ramakrishna is the master of renunciation. Huh? So that will be the point if anyone generates real analysis.
In his case, the wife thing, how can you explain?
Huh?
The wife attitude, the attitude to wife, the one you said just before, in Sri Ramakrishna's life, how can you say that?
Because he is not looking at it as a wife. Ordinary people looks at it as my wife, object of our love and enjoyment. No. But Ramakrishna is saying she is Mother Kali. So there is no problem. If he in his mind there was a sense that, oh, I will be going down to the sensual life and my spirituality will be spoiled, then it is really frightening. But not. This is a different thing. Because Ramakrishna sees nothing but Divine Mother. And he worships Mother as Divine Mother. So for him, this problem is not there. Wealth seems to be the tormentor of the heart. Someone gives money, it will be tormenting your heart. Ramakrishna says, it will be botheration for me. I cannot take care of it. Even, look at that. When Ramakrishna came to Dakshineshwar and the Mathur Babu was alive that time, Rasmuni was allowed that time. They are all alive. The owner of Dakshineshwar temple. And they wanted Ramakrishna to be involved in mother's worship and the worship of the deity, Krishna. What Ramakrishna said? He was not agreeing first. And with much persuasion, he agreed. But first thing said, I cannot take care of the wealth, all the ornaments and jewelries. I cannot take care of it. I'll do the puja only. Hare? Here, that's why he said that money, the wealth, he does not like, not only that, he does not go close to that type of idea. That's why it is called Vittam Chitta Pramathanam. Vitta means wealth. It is Chitta Pramathanam. It disturbs your heart. Suppose we all know, old people are always thinking, okay, my bank balance is such. What shall I do? I shall will it for this person or that person. Now all this thought came. Previously, bank was not so much available. So people used to know where to keep that money. Call, hey, there is my hidden money. 10,000 there, 20,000 there. You take this, you take that. Your mind is always engaged. And if you have not distributed the money, some people think I will not give money. Because in old age, who will look after me? I will give that money. It's a realistic world, no? But that's why you are keeping the money. And you are thinking, Who shall I give? All the time you are thinking of money, because my money, who I shall give? Who loves me more? Who serves me more? No? You see? That's a chitta, vittam, chitta pramatham. The chitta, the mind, is just, it is pramathana. It ruptures, or it creates pain in your heart. Money appears to be like chitta pramathana. Nidhana karadhanam. Eh? So, wealth seems to be tormentor of the heart, chitta pramatana, and money appears to be a killer. That's why Ramakrishna could not keep anything in his possession. Even what question of one opium tablet was given for his pains, stomach upset, that helps. So he could not carry that. What the question of money or anything? In his whole body, see the cloth, how he wears, where he will keep the money. It's an ideal example what we are reading. That happens, that is possible. That's why we have to match our reading with the life of Ramakrishna. Then, mitrang mitru upatapam. The friends, how we feel excited to see my friend. But friends seem to be the scorcher like the sun, because they say, hey, come for fun. Let us go here. Let us dance here. Let us eat here. Let us go to the hotel. Let us go to this. And if you don't go, your mind does not want to go, because you are becoming spiritual. Huh? Your mind is renouncing, no? At a detached outlook, whether you want to utilize it for higher purpose. But when your friend is forcing you to go, suppose you don't want, but your friend forced you, and you are eating, what your heart will be saying, hey, why am I here? I don't want to come, but I cannot say no to that. I'm so weak. See why I spoil my time. See, it is tormentor of the heart for a genuine spiritual people, no? So that's why friends seem to be scorcher like the sun. As sun scorches, so your heart will be scorching. And then Sotruvat Putra Kanne, the sons and daughters, they will be not our friend. They're always quarreling and trying to get money from this and that type of. Those who are most affectionate, they think, oh, we call in Bengali, the chain in the leg, in the feet, pair bedi, because the attachment comes, no? And he wants to free himself, but this attachment. Tulsidas, he could not be a renounced because his wife died and there is only one child, no? And who will look after that? He has a responsibility. He was a married person, but his heart is calling for God. But how to take care of the child? And if he takes care of the child, then his this spirit of renunciation which he is having will be useless, and it cannot be fulfilled. So he saw one day that on the wall there was a lizard, and one small, what do you call, insect came. Just from that lizard, a baby lizard is born, and baby lizard dropped. And just in front of that insect is there. And the baby lizard then ate that insect. Looking at this story, he said, my God, why am I thinking of anybody? God has arranged for this baby lizard when he will be born and he will fall. As soon as he falls, some food is arranged by God. So I am thinking I will take care of them and I'll look after them. And he renounced. Of course, it is a very extreme example because that much dependence on God is there. But if anyone does in day-to-day life, we'll call him a selfish. Not only that, he's a worst person because he is not following his disciplines and not doing his service to the own child, no? But we are talking of something in a higher level, like Tulsidas, like that state. So their own son and daughter, which are so much pleasing, but in this renouncing mind, they will appear that they are all as if like our, yeah, like friends seem to be scorcher of the sun, home full of relatives will appear like desolate forest infested with tigers, wolves, and other ferocious animals. That means his mind is so distracted, everything of attachment is becoming a problem, a pain, an anguish. The whole body of well wishers, those who come to say hello, hi, to a renouncing person, the well wisher will appear like a deep, dark well. Well means well where the deep, dark well, where scorpions and snakes are there. So no one wants to go to a deep, dark well for drinking water or for survival. So they will feel that his whole own body of well wishers, those who think that they love me, all the people who love me, that type of mind renunciation comes. That will be totally appearing like a whale. I'm encircled by deep dark well. A dispassionate person, having renounced all these things, will adhere to engaging himself in his own welfare or spiritual goal and attain the eternal bliss. So, so what a spiritual student will do, they will try to develop this dispassion, detachment, gradually, gradually, gradually. That's why in Indian spirituality, you look at that, there are four stages of life. They are talking about the fourth stage. First stage is student life, married life, then retired life. Retired life means detaching life, slowly, slowly detaching. And you reach a point when nothing of the life will be important or you will be attracted, you will be only leaning towards God and divine. No? And some say Sri Chaitanya, when he got intoxicated this love, no? What he did, his story, his wife, he renounced the wife, he never looked back. No? Mother left, mother is weeping and crying, he left. And even those were the friends of Sri Chaitanya, those who are singing and that, even he wants to get away from them. And when they bring him back, and he was intoxicated in God, he's saying, where is Vrindavan? I'd like to go to Vrindavan, Vrindavan. And they misdirected him and then brought back to their home. And when he came back, he felt so bad that you people brought me back here again. So that is not a pleasing thing, that coming back to their own old house or family members. So this is the verse 14 is a very strong verse. But it is talking about not for us. We should not do this. It will be anti-spirituality. But for a person, we have to understand we are in the fourth stage. He have gone through the experience. He has his children, done all the duties for the son, daughter, whoever was there. He did all charitable activity all through the life. And then retired life started to detach from everything slowly, slowly, slowly. Reaches a point when there is nothing pleasing to them. Jaggavalko, I am leaving now. And the Jaggavalko Maitreyi said, you stay home, you live like a nun. Just have your comfortable little things for your survival and let me be wandering monk. So where is his friends then? Where are his own people then? Where is the money, wealth, prosperity, all these things? Everything is like poison, detachment, disinterest, and live, 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 live. So every monk who leave home, they have this mode come for a second, for few moment. Otherwise they cannot be monk or nun. But they forget afterwards. To keep that spirit that high always will make a wonderful who will be God intoxicated only. But it is not possible. But at least they have the good fortune to have once in a moment of life feel this way, that nothing in the world is meaningful or purposeful for me. I am not happy with anything else. Let money come, wealth come, my friends come, my fan group comes, pamper me, hello, hello, how are you? Or someone comes and criticizes me. That spiritual person will be totally detached from that. So this is the verse. So just verse is I reading the translation again. When dispassion arises, what is the sign of dispassion? And it arises, you will see these things will happen. What? Main thing, the objects of enjoyment which pleases me now, when real dispassion will come in mind, they will appear as poison. It's, it's, it will take me to the cycle of birth and death again. It will bring me all suffering. I have suffered enough. In not this life, other life, other life. This life also I have suffered so much. I don't want to suffer like that. So, objects of enjoyment, which is pleasing to millions of people, the special person who dispassion has come up, he will feel or she will feel that it's like poison. It's not for me. I can't take this. They go for hardship, austerity. They give up. They go for in the open air without dress, without body any proper clothing. They smear the body in the ashes. Why? I don't want home. I don't want clothing. I don't want wealth. I don't want prosperity. I don't want friends. Just run away from this society. They go into the caves and forests. So that type of person. That's why I said it is the fourth stage of the ashramas in Hindu tradition. Garastha, Brahmacharya, Garastha, Banaprastha, retired life is the fourth stage. Total renunciation has come. That was the ancient glory of ancient India. They wanted everyone to be spiritually reaching the highest flight. Start from where? Like ordinary person and go through the experiences of life and understand these are all not permanent, not cannot give joy, cannot give peace, ultimate peace, total peace. So it is not necessary for me. It is like poison. I avoid that. I get out of it. No? And with this, it will be spontaneous attitude will come like that. We have to practice it now as a student, but this state will be spontaneous in the life when one will reach the fourth stage, and then that will be there leading to the knowledge of the Brahman. So, and the enjoyment will also appear as poison. The most beloved wife appear to be the giver of pain, or most wife or husband. Wealth seems to be the tormentor of the heart. Money, wealth appears to be killer, as if it will kill me. I cannot take so much accounts now. Many of the sadhus say, or Baba, you just you deal with those things. No? So that is the attitude. Son and daughter who are very loved seem to be their enemies because you are just distracting me from God. Friends seem to be scorched like the sun. The home full of relatives will appear like a desolate forest. And the whole body of well wishers will appear like a deep dark well. So a dispassionate person, having renounced all these things, will adhere to engaging himself in his own welfare, means spiritual goal, and attain the eternal peace. And then we will be totally absorbed here. Brahma Satyam, they will be engaged in that Brahma Satyam. Jagat Mithya, automatic Jagat Mithya. Jagat, everything of the world is Mithya. Okay? Is there any question?
So one person wanted to know that from where you are reading the translation.
I told you, oh, this is my translation. I am doing this translation, and I wish that sometime it will come out in a book form or for everyone's help. But I am doing this continuously, working on this, and this is the translation of the verse I read. It will be hope, if God willing, word by word, word for word meaning, and also running translation. a book may come out afterwards. But just
But the books for now, the verses are available at Vedanta.
yeah, the verses are available on the same website vedanta.org slash Shanti hyphen slash Shanti hyphen Gita. You can find, anyone can find this translation also, you can find. No?
No.
Only the verses. Only the verses have been given there, what we are reading. But yes. Okay, so if you have any question, I'll go for that. Let me close it. 14 months, we start next time 15. Next time we'll start with 15. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So one thing, these classes are now open for the devotees, but we only request all of you for the safety of everyone. Still, we want that you should be vaccinated and you should wear mask during this class period in the temple. But you can now join in our class in person, and it will be along with our this online service. It will continue. So you are welcome to join in person also with this. Temple is also open only class hours and lectures hours, Sunday lecture hours, as also the evening prayer time. Thank you all. So one question has come. Is it necessary to leave my house, friend, family, everything to lead this spiritual life? Yes, that good question. I was thinking that because I'm talking to this verse, this is too dispassion, too much dispassion. It is not for you or me, it is for the high class student. They are talking about the student like Ramakrishna, student like Vivekananda. For them, so high class student, their mind has reached, these are the spontaneous behavior of them, because they have developed so much viveka, so much vairagya, so much dispassionate, so much analysis. Everything is momentary. It does not please me anything, no? So that has reached their climax. For you, you should not do anything like that. Love your wife, love your family, love your friend, thinking that God is in them. Brahman, you are serving Brahman. That should be your attitude and the attitude we have for ordinary people like us. But we are reading a scripture, so we'll have to pay attention to what the scripture says as the ultimate goal and ultimate achievement. Now, what will happen? This will be the spontaneous mood. Ramakrishna, look at that. When he was in Dakshineshwar, he is day and night. How the day goes, he does not know. How the night comes, he does not know. And he cries, "Oh Ma," the sun is setting in the horizon. "Oh Ma, another day is gone. I have not seen you. You have not appeared before me," and crying like a desolate child. No? See? For this type of people, they are talking about. This is the outcome. What is the wife then for him? Think about that. He's married. He's not married that time probably. Yeah, after Ma Kali's vision, he married. But anyhow, he didn't marry. But anyhow, they married him. But see, look at the spirit. So for us, never do that. You are not to leave your house, your friend, your family. No. You have to see God in them, serve them, and gradually develop this attitude that you don't love the body, you don't love the object, but you love the consciousness behind, the Satchidanand, God behind everyone. Love that and enjoy loving everything, seeing God everywhere. So our practice should be that. Thank you. Another question. Is not it selfish to think only about our own spiritual welfare while neglecting our duties towards our family and friends? The same question. I didn't say that. Again, I am confirming. Because we are reading a high Vedanta text. So this will be the condition of a person who is successful, an accomplished person. His mental attitude will be that. But he will be intoxicated in God and God only. There is nothing in his life but God. So you need not have to be selfish. Rather, if you progress in this way, you will love everyone in a different way. Your love will extend. If you really, the Brahma Sattam, if you every day think everything is, other thing is wrong, Brahman alone is true. The Brahman alone is true means there is nothing but Brahman. As Swamiji said, what you see as object, it is Brahman alone. You see the table, you see Brahman. So, Brahman attitude should be kept, and thinking of Brahman is not selfish. Rather, real unselfish thought is, I am Brahman, I am infinite, I am in everyone. In me is the same divine as in you. And that will expand the heart. That will make loving everyone equally same. In our love, there is more love. I love someone more, someone less. No? In our love. He is my dear, I don't like him that much. But for this type of person, his life will be all equal. Shatru Mitra. Shatru, if he is your enemy or your Mitra, your friend, your love will flow equally. What the question of your wife? You will also see divine. Ramakrishna saw the divine mother in his wife. No? It is not negative. This practice will not take us to negativity. But he's saying a mood will come, you will not release the worldly joy and fun as you used to experience before. It will not interest you anymore. So that is the idea that Shnati Gita gives us. Okay? I hope that this confusion, I was thinking that this confusion will be bothering, but no. Okay, anything more?
Yeah.
Okay, another question. How can we save ourselves to mix with worldliness when we have to deal with the world? That's the point. We have discussed this also. How can we save ourselves to when you are mixing with the worldly people? Yes, when you are mixing with the worldly people, you need not have to look at them worldly, but you can think that in them is God. And if it is not very much inspiring for your spiritual life, try to keep a distance. But you cannot hate anyone. Here we are talking about the extreme condition of spiritual awakening. When it is coming, love for God will generate so much that the world will fall back. It is natural, Vairagya. Ramakrishna said, east and west. If you move from this side, east, when you are in the west, you are not in the east. You cannot expect east and west to be together. So, God and Mammon cannot go together. But yes, this world will be a mixture of good and bad people. But we'll have to live in the world so long the tender plant, we are all tender plant. For us, there should be a fence. When you find good people, spiritual people, make friendship with them, talk to them. And when you are in the worldly level, and you find that is distracting you, taking you to the distracted thought, avoid that. Very intelligently, I have something to do. Sorry, I cannot stay long. I'll talk to you later on. Someone calls you. Okay, I'll talk to you later on. I'm a little busy now. Avoid with politeness. And gradually they will understand that he is not our friend anymore. Okay? So this intelligence, we have to apply our intelligence. But not to hate anyone again and again. But hate the negativity, not the person. The inside is God. God is everywhere. Another question. It seems to me that to become detached, we must let go of our expectations. That is so difficult. How to do that? Yet we should continue to do our duty. Yeah. Yes, that is very right. It seems to me that to become detached, how to be detached? She says, we must let go our expectation. How to detach? Detach means, okay, it is happening. Yes, whatever happens, I accept it. Huh? So I accept, but we cannot accept. We want what I want that to happen. And that expectation bothers us. That expectation creates trouble for us. So here is the question. It is difficult, true, but we'll have to do our duty, and that's the practice. We have already told today that our spiritual life will not grow until we practice the foundational things of character building. Character building. We have already told that. You should have to selfless work, do your spiritual practices, purify your heart by prayers and meditation. All these to be practiced every day. Analyze it is permanent, it is impermanent. So in that way, we'll have to do our all the duties. There is no escape. But not duty as a slave, but you think that you are doing serving God. So it is no more slavery. It is a joy to do something for God. When you think that I am slaving someone, I don't want it, but I have to do it. It is a slave. Slaves don't want to work. The master will beat him. If you don't do, kill him. By the born slaves, British people, they used to purchase slaves in early days. So are we slaves? Well, no, I'm not the slave. So how to get out of this slavery? So we'll have to do our duty, but I'm doing for God. Same, one person can work in the monastery for 10 hours, and another can in the outside work 8 hours. 8 hours become a duty, which is a slavery. 10 hours, 20 hours, even 15 hours work may be a joy. Brother Lawrence, what he did, hours and hours he worked in the kitchen, no? Not very good job. Only doing the cleaning the pots and pans. And he felt the presence of Christ. Where is the world for him? So this is the point, that we'll have to do our duties. At the same time, we have to tell that I am doing to please God. I don't care what people praise me, or people blame me, or say I am good, I am bad. It matters little to me. I am doing for my beloved Lord. And you do as much as you find energy, more energy will come. But when you think that I did this and no one looked at me and no one praised me, and then they're asking me to do more, and the other boy is not doing work, and he is not doing, she is not doing, and it's on me. What a torture it is going on. So you are suffering then. You see, this thought itself makes us feel so bad that we are victim of this type of. But you turn it opposite way. Wherever you are, in your home or in your office or in your friend circle, you are doing only loving God, only serving God. Bus, good, bad, someone's praise, blame, matters. You don't just let it go this way, let it go. Immediately your bichara, your analysis will come. I am for God. I am for God. I am not to please anybody. No one is my boss. God is my boss. See? Then you find tremendous energy, tremendous effort. No? Look at the examples will be Swami Vivekananda and how much they used to work. No? In the early days of Belun Monastery, the sadhus used to work how hard. But they are very cheerful, joyful, because they are doing for God, not slaving for anyone. The slavery idea is to be thrown away. So that is the While I practice spiritual sadhana, I see sometimes there is so much passion of liberation, intense desire to know God, but after some time, worldliness comes. And it happens again and again. Why? Why that? Got the question? This question is, while I practice spiritual sadhana, practice discipline, I see sometimes there is so much passion and liberation, intense desire to know God. Sometimes I like God, I like to have it. And sometimes, after some time, the worldly thought, worldly activity, they come and block. So why it happens? That is the eternal question, because we are the sum total of our good and bad actions of other life, not this life only. Other life, other life, other life. No? So, all these good and bad thoughts, ideas have a empowering strength. It has a propelling force. It goads us to go in the direction of the world and worldliness. Because we have practiced that world and worldliness all lives together. So that force has become so much. It When we move towards God, opposite side, they again and again come. Hey, you are my friend. Now you are leaving me. Suppose it happens. Giving an example. Suppose a good boy and a good girl fell into a bad association. He didn't understand or she didn't understand. It's a bad association. And making after good friendship. And and then he said, "Oh my God, they're the gang group, and you cannot come out of that. You want to come out, they will then kill you. You cannot come out, you cannot get in." So this type of thing happens. So this is the our mind. So many years we have ran in the idea of the mind. Wherever mind says, "I like it," I also went with him. So now your mind says, "I want this." You say, "No, come this way." So there is a conflict. So this will be there, but we need not be disheartened. It is called abhyasa, repeated practice. We'll have to continue that. And this is the nature of the mind. Mind's nature is such that it's sometimes like a child, sometimes very good mood, sometimes very bad mood. The children, don't see, this time he is very happy. And that time something on toy is broken and crying and rolling down in the ground and this and make a big mess of it. So our mind is like that. But we have to understand this is the nature of the mind. But we are not the mind, but we are to be little above it. We are the master of the mind. So that practice is to be done. Okay? So thank you all for these nice questions. And again, I said before concluding today's this session that these verses I read, these are for people of the high Vedanta students, no? Who have reached their renunciation at the top. So their mood just before samadhi level or just before getting into that highest experience, this is the mood. Your mind is totally out of the world and worldliness. God is there. There is no other place to go. As soon as the mind will be totally free from everything which is alluring and attracting, you know that you have reached the goal. It's only there, waiting, just one step. So that should be our goal to reach. You need not have to think in this way, but it will spontaneously arise in your heart. But at the same time, you will not be selfish. That will make you selfless. Your love will flow for not for only your husband or wife or children or mom and dad, but so many mothers, so many fathers, so many brothers, so many children. The whole world will think that you are tuned to see God there. So that will come. Thank you all. So we end here, and tomorrow will be our gospel class given by our Prabhrajika. Seva Prana. Seva Prana. So, and you can join in person also, as I have said, announced for these classes, and watch our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.